I'm Anil Kumar. Let me thank my student Shruti for this excellent question. She wants to understand how to make trinomials as perfect square. So based on that, we have a couple of questions in this particular video. Let's begin with the very first, which says, determine the values of k such that each trinomial is a perfect square. So we have taken up 3 and we'll take 3 more later in this video itself. So this may run into 10 minutes. Okay. So the trinomials are x squared plus kx plus 25, 9x squared plus kx plus 49, kx squared minus 24xy plus 9y squared. We need to figure out the value of k which can make these trinomials a perfect square. All right. So let's remember what a plus b whole square is. A plus b whole square is a square plus 2ab plus b square. Now this is a perfect square. It could be a plus or it could be a minus b. Accordingly, when you expand, you get a square plus or minus 2ab. So if I have a trinomial in the form a square plus or minus 2ab plus b square, then I can always write this in that form, which is the perfect square we are talking about. Correct? So the idea here is to write your trinomial in the form of a square plus 2ab plus b square, and then identify the value of k. I hope the concept is clear, right? Different types of examples will move the position of k to these 3 different positions. First 2, k is right in the center, then k on the sides. We'll work out 6 examples so that you get to know how to find the coefficient k. Okay, so the very first one is the simplest of all, x whole square. So x is a for us, right? Plus, forget about the center term, we want to know what it is. The last term is 25, which square root 25 is 5, can be written as 5 square. Correct? Now what should be the center term? The center term should be 2ab. So this is a for us, this is b for us. We are looking for 2ab, right? So let me rewrite this center term. If it has to be a perfect square, it should be twice a is x for us, right? X, and b is 5 for us, and 5. So as you can see, we already have x. We already have x. What we need is k. So what should be k equals to? So k is equals to 2 times 5. 2 times 5, which is 10. Do you see that? So that is how you're going to answer. So k should be 10. And therefore, this trinomial should be written as x squared plus 10x plus 25. You get an idea. Now, can minus 10 work? That's another question. Plus or minus. So minus 10 can also work. So k should be plus or minus 10. So we could write this as plus or minus, and that helps you to understand values. Do you see that? So k could be positive or negative. And you can always write this trinomial, if k is 10, as equal to k plus or minus 5 whole square, right? So we get this as, x plus or minus 5 whole square. So that is the perfect square we are talking about. So I hope the concept is absolutely clear. And now let's move on with the second example. 9x squared, square root of 9 is 3. So we'll write this as 3x whole square plus center value. We don't know. Let's leave it for the time being. 49 is 7 square, right? So b is 7 for us. Center value, x is already there. We are looking for twice 3 and 7, right? So it should be 2 times 3 times 7. And that gives you the value of k. So k is equals to 2 times 3 times 7, which is equal to, you can figure out, 2 times 3 is 6, 6 times 7 is 42. So 42 is the right value. We could take plus or minus, both, right? So here we know k is plus or minus 42, correct? So you could write this as a perfect square. 3x this time, a is 3x, and b is 7. 3x plus or minus 7 whole square, that gives you k as plus or minus 42. So I hope the concept is clear with k as a coefficient of x. Now we'll move on to c, where k is the leading coefficient. Correct? The concept is absolutely same. Now look at it. We could write the first one as a perfect square of square root k. Do you see? Because k square root square will be k. Correct? So that is a for us. This is kind of tricky. So the center term will be, we'll write it down once we write the last term, which is 3y whole square. So it is twice a, which is square root of k, times x, and the last term is 3y. Clearly, the center term could be written as twice square root k times 3xy, so it will multiply 2 with 3, square root k, xy. So what we have here already, xy is already there, xy is already there. So if you compare, 24 is equals to 2 times 3 times k. So we could write 24, both negative, negative taken care of, right? 24 equals to 2 times 3 times square root k. Now from here you can solve k. That is how you can do it. So 24, 2 times 3 is 6. So 24 divided by 6 is equals to square root of k, which is 6 times 4 is 24, and that gives you k as 4 square, which is 16. Do you see that? So k is going to be, whenever k is on these sides, it has to be positive. Is that okay? So k is positive 16. So we get k equals to positive 16. So you could write this as 16x squared minus 24xy plus 9y squared. Correct? But I hope you understand how we wrote k as square root of k and then figure it out. So that's kind of very important to understand. So let's move on with more examples with a different position of our unknown k. Here in this I've taken k in the third place, which is for constant, right? Determine the values of k such that each trinomial is a perfect square. You can now pause the video, answer the question, and then look into my suggestions. Okay, let's do this quickly. It is x whole square plus, now what is this k? This is square root k whole square, right? You have to write as a square. The center term should be twice this number times that one, which is x. Comparing, we get 2 times square root k should be equal to 4. Square root k equals to 4 divided by 2, which is 2. Squaring, we get k equals to 2 square, which is 4. Correct? So k is 4 for us. Correct? So here we found k equals to 4. So you can check your answer, which is x plus 4 whole square equals to x square plus twice, which, x plus 2 whole square. 4 is 2 square. So twice 2 is 4x plus square of 2 is 4. Perfect. So that is how you could actually check your answer also. We kind of checked it at this stage. Okay. The next one here should be, first write it as a trinomial, a square plus b square. 2x whole square. K we don't know, we'll write square root k whole square. Center term will be 2 times square root k times 2x. Now we are going to equate these two, right? So we write this as 2 times 2, 4. So 4 square root k is equal to 12. Minus minus we have already taken care of. Same signs. Is it okay? Right. So square root k equals to 12 divided by 4, which is 3. Squaring both sides, we will get 3 square as the value of k, which is 9. So the equation becomes 2x minus 9 is 3 square minus 3 whole square is for k equals to 9. Do you get the idea, right? So that's how you should do when k is in constant position. We have one more example to go where we have two k's. Okay, one in the constant position, one as a leading coefficient. How do we do these kinds of questions? So the first step is exactly same. We need to determine the values of k such that each trinomial is a perfect square. So we'll write this as kx square root kx whole square. Now the square will be k. This is square root k whole square. The center term for us will be twice this one, that one. We want to write x at the end, right? Okay. And that tells us that 8 is equal to all this. So 2 times square root k times square root k is equal to 8. That means twice k is equal to 8, or k is equals to 8 divided by 2, which is 4, correct? Now, so the k is 4. It's a perfect square of 2. Is that okay? So that works. And therefore, we can say k is 4. And you can check. How can you check? Rewrite your trinomial with 4. So you get 4x squared plus 8x plus 4. You'll find it is 2x plus 2 whole square. Correct? So that is how you could do it. So you can always pause the video, try the next one. The idea of having 2 in each video here is to practice. So again we'll do the same thing. We can write this as square root kx whole square minus twice square root k times square root kx plus square root k whole square. This k is for that. Comparing the center terms, that is to say minus 50 with minus all this, we can write 2 times square root k times square root k equals to 50, right? X is already there. So we get 2 times k equals to 50, k equals to 50 divided by 2, which is 25. A perfect square. So k equals to 25. You could write this as 25x squared minus 50x plus 25, or 5x minus 5 whole square, right? So that is how we can actually do such questions. I hope it really helps you to understand perfect squares and how to factor trinomials and make them a perfect square. If you like, you can share my videos with your friends, subscribe, and don't forget to write your comments. Thank you and all the best.